live here on YouTube as well, doing the simulcast as usual. This is week 27 of 2-5 Tuesday. Wow, week 27. How are you all today? Hey, Tracy, happy 2-5 Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, man. So we're actually going to review a line, like an actual line, a 2-5, and then I'm going to kind of talk about it. Vishnu. Okay, yeah, I use actually a quick question here was what mouthpiece do I use? So I have a vintage auto link. It's a vintage hard rubber auto link. Hey Amy, nice to see you. Hey Nolan. Um yeah, so it's a vintage auto link. It's from the 1940s. It's a slant. The 40s version of a hard rubber link is a slant. They have like all these ones. I'm not a mouthpiece expert. That's Sax Spy knows blows, Tim Lin, those guys are the guys that ask about mouthpieces, Jack, John Ledbetter. But it's a 1940s slant that was refaced to about a 0.095, which I think is a 7, maybe it's a 6-star, but you could probably look it up on some chart. So I just tried it and loved it, and my friend had it, and so yeah, it was refaced by a really good guy in New York. I can't think of his name right now, but yeah, so let's jump into the line. Any other questions, please put in the question box or on the chat on YouTube. And so this is, if I look over here, Instagram, if I look here, YouTube, trying to make sure I get everybody. And yeah, so please write your questions in. We're gonna go over the line first. You're welcome, Vishnu. We're gonna go over the line first. I'm gonna break it down, and then we'll go over questions. So let me play the line. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Someone said, Seussmeister said, love your sound. Well, hopefully you'll like me playing this line because I'll play the line for you, and then we'll talk about it. So the line is actually the line that was on Instagram today from a kid named, I could say a kid because he's in college and he's much younger than me. His name's Logan Gonzo. I think that's maybe his real name. It's like underscore Logan underscore Gonzo underscore. So really, really nice guy. Actually, one of his buddies sent it into me, but it's a great video. He plays a beautiful line. He's got a beautiful sound. He's got like huge hair, which I was gonna actually do like another video of me playing it with my hair all froed out, and just really cool. And it's just funny. Just like do 5 of the days. It's a funny intro. And he says thank you at the end. It's a great video. Like it's literally, you know, um, 14 seconds long, but I love it. I think the kid's got a lot of character. So here's the line itself, and it's a really great line because it has a great rhythmic feel to it, and it has a nice voice leading, and it just is a really pretty line. Like I said, he's got a really nice tone. So I'll play it slow. Here's the line. All right, so there's Logan Gonzo. There he is. He's in the YouTube. This is his line. All right. And elbow 25 is Elder. He's the guy who submitted it for him. So yeah, two guys from Cal State Northridge, which isn't too far from here. Hey Logan, I just played your line. I'm gonna play it again. Here's the line again. All right, I could definitely get it cleaner. I've been playing this line literally only for like a minute or two. I've been listening to the line a bunch when I do my edits. I hear the line, so I get it into my ear. So anyway, so what's going on with this line? Why do I love it so much? I love it because it's got a really cool rhythmic element to it. Like that first bar is just this really nice syncopated idea. That's nothing. It's really just the simplicity of it is what makes it beautiful to me. So it's going to go one and then it's the only thing that's on the downbeat is the one. So one and then everything's on the upbeat. So it's and then it voice leads perfectly into the one of the 5 chord. So and I ended on the on the 3 of the 5 chord. So that's the third degree of the 5, and that's what he's doing there. So the one cool thing, the jump there, you're hearing that big jump, right? Right? That's a major 7 jump. That's why that sounds so large, because it is a big leap. And the one cool thing is he's starting on the 9. Um and yeah, and so he's starting on the 9 going to the flat 3. That's this. Right? Bo ba 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 do be, right? Um, and he's just walking it down. And then the voice leading there is the 7/3 resolution, which we've talked about before. That's the 7/3 resolution. By the way, this is in A flat concert, so it's nice that he played it in a key that, you know, a lot of people don't play in. A flat concert's as a tough key, but it's a great key to learn like stuff like this, and it's beautiful. So and then he goes into hopefully you can hear this. He's going into a chromatic idea. So it's just chromatic. This is all he's doing it with the 5 chord starting at beat 1. He's going. Okay. Oh, Jen Krebs asks, what song is this? This is not a song. This is actually a 2/5 from today's Instagram post. It's from this from a kid, Logan Gonzo. So he submitted this 2/5. So we're just breaking it down. But if there's any other questions you have, Jen, feel free to put them in the question box, and I'm going to do question and answer stuff right after this. So back to the 5 chord. So the 5 chord is where he uses a lot more color. The first chord was all diatonic. The 2 chord was all diatonic. It was literally 9 to flat 3, jumps up to the 9, plays the 1, plays the flat 7. We get that flat 7 to 3 resolution, which is perfect. And now he adds some color. Now he's adding chromaticism, which is really cool. So here's the first 2 beats. He's going right, 1 and 2, and then this is where all the color happens. All the color happens in beats 3 and 4, and he does a really nice enclosure at the end of this. So this is how beats 3 and 4 go. So what is that? So let me play that whole bar for you. So it's like, whoa, you get steps out a little bit. Boo. So sing it. Let's sing it. Ba ba da da ba ba da booty. I'm not a singer, but the more you can sing this stuff and get it into your ears, the better. Okay, so what's happening in that 3rd and 4th beat? So he's playing, right? That last note is actually the beat of, beat 1. But let's break down just this part. Right? Just that. What is going on there? So those are all, it's like basically altered. And he actually breaks a rule, quote unquote, a rule, but I don't think it's an actual rule. It's just one of those things. So he's playing that is starting on the sharp 5, that note that you hear. Ba, ba, da. That's actually sharp 5. That's the sharp 9, and then the flat 9. That's what he's doing there. But he's using that flat 9 and this next note, which is the natural 7. So he's using the natural 7 over a dominant chord, which, some people think, oh, it's a no. It's no. It's not a no. It's awesome. It's awesome because, well, it's on a weak beat, right? It's on the upbeat of 4, which is weak, and he's using it as an enclosure to enclose the 5 of the 1 chord. So we're going to F in tenor key, E flat concert, and so he's using it as an enclosure to end on a strong, not only a strong beat, which is beat 1, but then he's also ending on a strong note. The 5 and the 1 are 2 of the strongest notes when you land on like the 1 chord or on any chord really. So let's play that again. Right? So it resolves, and it doesn't matter. You could play any notes there, right? And you make it resolve. We can go, let's do something completely different. And I'll use those last 2 notes to do the enclosure. So I might go like this. Let's go. added too many notes there. So, but if I start with the beginning part of his beat there, and then make up anything on beat three, I was messing around there. So my point is you can play anything you want uh, in those beats as long as you're resolving it properly. Um, Probably spent way too much time doing that stuff, but let's break down the one chord. All right, here's the one chord. Right, beautiful. I love that. So we're starting on the five, like I said, we're starting on the fifth chord degree. So we're in E flat, and this is a pretty common common ending or common like I call them like ending like cliches. But they're beautiful. There's a lot of ones that are like this, but I like the way he used it, and he's not ending on a typical like ending note. He's not ending on a three or a five. He's actually ending on the six, which I totally dig. Parker did it all the time. Sonny Rollins does it. They're all these guys do it. Like John Ellis does it all the time. Um, but it's a really cool way to end your lines, and it's also really pretty. And it's different. So here it is. We're going, and really that's just a pretty um, digital kind of line. So it's just 5, 3, 2, 1, but he's using rhythm again, right? He's going quarter note, triplet, eighth note triplet, and then 2/8. So it's 5, 3, 2, 1, and then 7/6. Ba boo ba da boo ba. 5, 3, 2, 1, 7/6. 5, 3, 2, 1, 7/6. Right. And you could do that. Like that's a great exercise in itself, right? I haven't practiced this, but if you wanted to make that an exercise, you can just literally go here. Uh, So all I'm doing is taking it through half steps to get it into my ear. Um, Tracy on here writes, sounds like a piece of another you. Yeah. I mean, a lot of these cliches, I call them cliches. I shouldn't call it that. I should maybe show them more respect. A lot of these small snippet, beautiful melodies that we play, um, usually come from melodies that are from famous standards. They're famous American songbook, tunes. So yeah, I mean, that's one cool thing you can look into. Any type of any actual little piece of melody you really like, like let's say like Misty or something, or any start of a tune, you can make into small bits of melody and actually use it in your soloing. And like I said, you can do a lot with just that little bit. Right? If I want to make that into, I'll do that in, let's say I'll do it in major thirds. Right? Um, Maybe just keep going up major thirds. Uh, I don't want to. I keep missing that one. All right. Yeah, really, really, just those pretty melodies, and now I'm just kind of shedding for you guys, but um, and you can do a lot of stuff. Like this whole line is really pretty. I'm gonna play it one more time. I mean, you could even make this line where you're continuing that first rhythmic sense of it, right? The right. You could do something like right. I changed the second bar and the third bar, but I love the first bar. So that's me just I just making this up on the spot, but I'm thinking about how would I make this my own line? How do I do this? Um, okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna pause on this. We have, or maybe we'll Hold on, Rain Saxo. Hold on one second, and I'll get you in the chat here for a question. To finish my point up about, taking bits of these lines. I mean, I love, like I said, I love this line, and I actually already wrote a 2/5 that has a similar rhythmic sense to it, but obviously a different line. And so I'm taking some of Logan's rhythmic sensibilities and using it into my own playing. But check this out. Like if I like this rhythmic idea, right? Right, I'm changing whatever's happening after that. But I can make it the same rhythm. Right? I like that rhythmic diversity he's using. I totally dig that. Um and and the way he wrote this line and played it is just beautiful. So it just made me happy. This line made me happy, and I really wanted to talk about it tonight because I think it's a really cool, inspiring line. And like I said, it's already inspired me to write a whole new line. More lines on the way. I've had a bit of a busy time. So but we have a video request on Instagram, so I'm gonna go ahead and accept this and see if we have a question or what. I tried this last time. Let me see if I did that right. Did I do that right? Oh, he declined. All right, or she. Okay, here's a question. All right, here we go. Oh, it's Amy. Okay. Oh, that's a nice question. What's your favorite piece of artwork on your wall? Um, I'll show you my favorite piece. Well, my favorite piece of artwork on the wall. My favorite piece of artwork on the wall that you can all see is this one. Um, this is my favorite piece of artwork, because this was from my first Father's Day, and it was from my daughter Quinn, who's my first daughter. So that's probably my favorite piece that you can see. But really, hold on one second. But they actually win. So my two I have two girls, Sunny and Quinn, and actually my favorite piece, my favorite wall is this. That's my kids, all my kids' art that they make for me. So that's an easy question, but if I had to pick something that wasn't made for my kids, I would pick this picture here. Now, no disrespect to all the legends in the room, because I have Sonny Rollins on this wall over here. I have Dexter Gordon. I have Miles Davis. I have Frank Sinatra, John Coltrane. I have all these masters, and they're kind of the inspiration. But there is I'm very big on positive messaging. Obviously, my channel, whoever's watching on Instagram, they know, or excuse me, on YouTube. But Positively Progressing is my channel. So there is a piece of art, and I don't think you can see it on here, but I'll pull it off the wall. Give me one second. Oh shoot. I can't pull it off. I'll show you guys. It's the way I put it up there. I can't pull it off. So this is my favorite piece of art. It's from a guy named famous painter named Lebo. Lebo, his name's Dave Lebitard, and it says steadfast with harmony up there and patience. So steadfast with harmony and patience. So it kind of gives me a bit of a reminder. On YouTube, you can see it. It's that elephant, and if you can't see it fully, um, there's also a snail on there. So there's like a steadfast with harmony, which I think is really cool because it's like the elephant, really strong, really, really smart. And just and there's a circle, like there's a circle that goes around the eye, which I think is like meaning like the steadfast with harmony, like everything's in harmony, everything's a circle, it's all connected. And then with patience, and with patience is written right underneath the snail. So I just love that piece of art. I saw it in he had a sketchbook. I mean, that's probably his cheapest piece of art. So I'm definitely not able to afford his amazing art. But I saw that was in one of his sketchbooks, and he put it up for sale, and I was able to afford it. Thankfully, I think it was like maybe $50. But it was inspiring to me. Yeah, Smithuin. I got a no. I got a I gotta know what should I call you, Smithuin? I love that tag. Yeah, thanks for the question, Amy. That's a great question. But Smithuin, who's on there, Smithuin underscore, he sent in a killer line today, so I got to get that one out there. Thank you, Amy. That was awesome. What a great question. I love questions like that. Like the more questions you can ask about like me and my family and those types of things are it's nice because it's way easier to talk about than music if you're interested in that. If you're not interested in it, it's all good. I'm not that interesting. Mathwin. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, it's like Mathwin Smith, right? Um okay, looking for a new neck strap, what do you recommend? Okay, great question. There are some great neck straps out there. I'm wearing one of them. This is the Boston Sachs like Newberry Deluxe strap. I think it's great. I have some right here. I'll grab a couple. But I love this one. Nailed it right on. I love this neck strap. I do use it almost all the time, but I do have some other ones I like as well. Um, but this is that's my go-to. I just personally prefer it. I'm actually working on developing a neck strap that hopefully, because some of you may or may not know, I'm a doctor of physical therapy, so I'm always looking for ways to help musicians relieve pain, relieve any types of issues. It's a very physical thing we do. I have plenty of, um, you know, I have plenty of videos on this. But here, I'll grab a couple of these other neck straps that I dig. Um, all right. So here's one that's also similar. So price wise too. What is his name? Carl. I think is it or Kale? Sorry, Kale Cheeseman. um, Mexico. Hola. All right. This is called a Sabula. Similar to it's very similar to the Boston Sack Shop neck strap. It has some more padding here. This is a really nice neck strap. Um, Compare this is about the same price point as the Boston Sack Shop neck strap, the Newberry Deluxe. That's I believe I actually don't know what they call. I think I bought my Newberry Deluxe for like 75 or $80. I think they might be 85 or $90 or these are about the same, anywhere between 80 and $90. So they come in different colors. It has like a little, weight distributing bar here. It has, like I said, it has this nice padding. Let me put that down before I hurt myself. Has this nice padding here, and also has like you can see it's got like a bit of has a bit of like a gap here, which kind of goes over your spine. Isaias says, "Sorry, I don't speak English, but I'm your fan. Thank you very much for being a fan. You're what makes this possible. So thank you so much." Um, so I would recommend all of these, these neck straps. I've tried them out. I've tested them. I would never recommend anything I don't test or try myself. And then this last one here is called a Sax Lab harness. And it kind of folds. You saw that thing fold in half. It kind of folds in half and comes up like this. This is probably the most supportive neck strap I've ever tried. This one would be tough to beat if you have any neck issues. This isn't going to put any pressure on there. What this does is it offloads. It's got a little circular thing or oval thing here that goes against your like upper torso, and it actually doesn't touch your chest at all. It doesn't really touch your neck either. It's really sitting more on your traps, which is kind of cool. And then the horn hangs from it here. Um, and you're really not getting any pressure on your neck. You're getting it more on your traps, and you get some here on your torso. But this is like you could play if you're playing really long really long practice sessions, or you got to stand for a while. This is probably your go-to. Oh, Matthew I'm sorry. I got to get that right. Have you tried the Ballum back? Yes. Let me see. I got that here too. Actually, sorry for leaving the screen. I'll be right back. Oh man. So yes, this too. The Ballum. He's got the Ballum strap. The same thing. I got that one here too. This is actually Steve Cortica's. He let me borrow it. Anyways, that was I don't know if that was needed, but anyways, I have tried that one, and I like this one too. This one's I think if if, uh if anybody knows the price of this one, I'm not sure, and I don't even know if they're in stock at, at Boston Sack Shop, but this is also a great strap. It's like it's kind of like the harness that I just showed you, this guy here. Um but obviously a little bit more, um you know it's got leather, it's a little bit more dialed in as far as the way it looks, it's a little more streamlined. It doesn't This one still is by far the best thing to like take any pressure off. And the one thing about this versus this is this has the counterbalance, that's something hitting your torso. So um, this is going to get a little bit nerdy, like anatomically or thinking about physics. But we have counterpoints, like right. So we have, if we have something pushing onto our stomach and then something pushing back here, they're like almost like opposites. So opposite, kind of, it's taking away more pressure basically, to say it with the least amount of words. This one is not putting much pressure on the neck, and it's taking pressure away using this weight distribution bar. This thing's putting it away from your body a little bit more, okay? Which is also taking a lot of weight that would normally be coming down on your neck. So, um, thank you for the question, Kale. I hope that helps. This one here, the last time I checked, this Jazz Labs one is somewhere around $50. So $50, 80 to 90 for those other two, and this one I don't know. I would guess that this is probably going for 100, maybe more. I don't know pricing on things like that. Like I said, I didn't buy this one. I actually need to send it back to Steve. But yeah, cool. I'm glad that helped, Kale. Right on. And if you have any questions, please put them in the question box. If not, then we can chat about anything else. I don't know if I missed any questions. I don't think I did. I don't think anyone's been asking any. Um, Math and okay, sorry. Okay. Let's see. We have a question here. Um, okay. So I have a question here from, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay, Camilo. I'm playing saxophone classic, recommend introduce world jazz. So I think I think what you mean maybe is uh he plays classical saxophone, and maybe what does he recommend to get introduced into the world of jazz? Maybe that's the question. If that is the question, I also saw a question here about Barry. I'll answer that in a second, Isaias. If that's the question, if you're playing classical and you want to get more familiar with jazz, let me take this neck strap off. I should have put them all on. Isn't it funny? um, the first thing I would say is start listening to as much different and widespread jazz as you can. Start listening. That's the best way to get introduced to this music. It's the best way um, to learn the language, to learn what you like. Right? You might really fall in love with Cannonball Adderley, right? You might love his sound, and then you might go back. Oh, I want to listen to the first CD that first album he ever. CDs were like my age. Like I was all about cassettes and CDs, but now it's, you can stream everything. But you might want to look back at his like very first albums and check out how he was playing, and then follow him along his path of, going into the Miles Davis quintet or sextet, I guess it would be, and then him creating his own quintet, right? Playing with his brother Nat. So you might, that's one way to really get into this world of jazz. Is listening. That's the one way you can instantly get yourself connected to this world, even if you don't play it. There's so many people out there that don't play that just love the music and love listening to it, that they're connected. Um, if you want to start playing it, then I would give you the same advice. Listen a ton, and start transcribing, or start trying to play the melodies that these heroes of yours and the people you end up liking they're playing. Start playing, start mimicking, start enjoying like the melodies and trying to copy that, and that will start getting you into the mode of really learning learning the music. Hope that helps. And ask any follow-ups, or if anyone else has anything, come on, let's jump on the video. Get on, let's do a video question. Let's do a video whatever. I did get a question. I hope I'm saying your name right, Isaias. He asks if I play Barry sax and which one do I use. I don't play Barry. Um, I don't play Barry. But uh, I have played a berry before. I played a Mark 6 berry, and I've heard con berries are pretty awesome. I couldn't tell you like what a new like brand of berry, what who makes a good berry. I have no clue, but I know Mark 6s and cons are pretty much the go-to. I know so my buddy random story. So I have a really good friend named Ryan, and I this has all been online, so I can talk about it. But I treated Sam Greenfield, who's a great saxophone player. He plays with Corey Wong and the Wong Notes, and he plays all the saxophones. He plays soprano, alto, tenor, and Barry. And he's got a new album out called Sam Greenfield Sucks, and he plays every single sax line on there. That saxophone, I don't know if it's that saxophone, but my buddy Ryan actually a sold him a Mark 6 berry, like, and I connected them, and Sam was like, "This is the best berry I've ever played." So that's who I'm going off of by saying Mark 6 berries. Typically, people like the low A berries. Um, Maybe some people don't. I'm not a berry player, but if Sam Greenfield likes it, Sam Greenfield sounds amazing, and he's one of my favorites out there. So I'll go with that. That'll be my answer for that. Um, okay. Okay. Here we got a longer question. Hey, me again. This is Andre, right? Andre, yeah. Hey, me again. I have a combo concert coming up. We will just be playing standards. Any tips to make my improv stand out? The tunes are Blue Bossa and Autumn Leaves. Okay, cool. So you got a combo concert coming up, and he asks what like what any tips on how his improv can stand out. Um Now, there's a lot of follow-ups I would have, Andre, but, here, let me get some water here. Check this out real quick. My buddy made this for me. Look at that. It's my little cat logo. I don't know if YouTube can see it. It's a little cat logo on a water bottle. I don't drink coffee, so it's a water bottle for me. Um, Anyways, back to Andre. My bad. Just thought I'd share that. All right, so any tips? So really, I mean, I would think so. Shed the tunes beforehand. Know the tunes. You should know Blue Bossa. You should know Autumn Leaves. You should listen to them in a bunch of different ways. And I always tell people to listen because I think listening is the best way to start wrapping your head around. And you're going to end up getting, some ideas, even subconsciously, they're going to come into your brain. So Autumn Leaves, I can think of some great Autumn Leaves versions right off the top of my head. There's one from, speaking of Cannonball Adderley, on his Something Else album. That's a great Autumn Leaves version. Miles Davis doesn't even solo on it. He plays the melody, and that's like his solo, right? It's nothing, right? But melody is so strong, and his sound is amazing, right? Um, Also, the Boss Tenors album with Gene Ammons and Sonny Stitt, that has a great Autumn Leaves version on it. They do a couple of change up the chord changes a little bit. They do like a 2 5 half step thingy. Um, we won't get into that. But that's also a great version. There's so many great versions. And Blue Bossa, there's great Joe Henderson version. Obviously, I'm naming like saxophone players because that's who I listen to. But I bet if I could look into my phone, I have like playlists for those that have different versions. Those are the kind of the three things that stick out to me. But but listening will help you kind of hear these tunes, right? And will also get your mind wrapped around. But you should know the tunes, right? You should try to have them memorized, have the melodies memorized, and be able to reference those melodies at any time, right? Like if you're going to the bridge and you don't have and you kind of want to just go back in. If you're going into the bridge of Autumn Leaves, you might just want to go do do ba bo ba ba do bo do da. I forgot about Dexter Gordon's Blue Bossa. You're right. Yeah, Dexter Gordon's he's my guy. Dexter's Blue Bossa is awesome too. I knew I was forgetting someone. Um, and so, like, you wanna be able to reference that melody. The melody is gonna be the strongest thing. You wanna be able to play rhythmically interesting things. Like, don't worry about all the notes. Don't worry if you don't have the technical capacity, and I don't, if you don't have the technical capacity just to be running lines up and down like Ryan Devlin, who's one of my heroes, like, living heroes. The kid is amazing, like, he's so inspiring. Um, don't do that. Stay in your own lane. Stay within what you can do and make it as musical as possible. And maybe this is the most important piece of advice I could give is play music with the people that you're playing music with. I know that sounds funny and redundant, but play music. What I'm saying is play music. Be musical with the people around you. You're in a combo. You have a bass, you have a drummer, you have a piano player, maybe a guitar player, all right? And you, which I'm guessing is a saxophone player, make music with them. They're not your backing track, right? They're not your backing track. They are all of you are making music together. Not one just because one person's soloing doesn't mean that that everyone's just listening to you because you need those guys just as much as they need you for all of you to sound good. Those guys and gals, I should say. So think about that. You might start out with like if we're doing autumn leaves, like don da da da. If you're here, you might want to just go ba-doo bop bop, ba-doo bop bop, and then you might hear the drummer go da da da, do da da da, and answer back or whatever, and you might just stick on that da bop do da bop, and you might just be playing with the drummer back and forth and making music. You guys are communicating through your instruments, which is the most beautiful thing you can do. And that would stand out. That would be for me, if I went to when I go to concerts and I see stuff like that, that's what I connect to. That's the one thing that and even when I'm listening to albums, I'm like, whoa, like Elvin Jones or who was I just listening to? I was listening to this Christian McBride, um, and Walter Smith thing, the Twio album you see behind me. I was listening to that, and I noticed, like, in that, I'm like, I noticed how much the drummer's interacting, and how much Christian McBride's interacting with everyone. So, that was a really long answer, and I know this is going super long, but that's what I would say, like, those things. I hope that all was coherent, Andre. I hope that helps, but I don't think, I think that knowing the tunes, obviously being prepared is super, super important, but making music with the combo, making music, and I don't even know, is this a college thing or is this what is this? Let's see. So, yeah, Andre says, "Got it, got it. Thank you so much. I'm actually a trumpet player." Oh, cool. I'm glad. Yeah, yeah. Trumpet players are allowed here. This is a safe space for everybody. More trumpet players, more trombone players. Like this doesn't have to be a. I don't want to be just a saxophone dude. Like I want to be like an everyone dude. So, yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, that's really nice to hear. Andre, for all the people that can't read it on YouTube, he said that. That's definitely thank you so much for the most helpful advice I've gotten in a while. So that's cool. I appreciate it. Actually, a high school thing. Great. Yeah. The more you can play with people, where do you live, by the way? The more that you can interact with musicians, and I need to do this more. I'm just in a different place in my life, but the more interaction you can have with building that musical communication, obviously nonverbal, right? We're just playing, and really trying to make music. I hope I don't get this story wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've talked about the Jack DeJohnette, Gary Peacock, and Keith Jarrett trio. Like those three guys, um, okay, he's from West Texas. All right, so those 3 guys, that trio, that Keith Jarrett trio, those 3 guys, they would just tour, right? And they're all super, super high level, but their whole goal every night was basically to, like, transcend the music, right? To, like, get to another place where, they were literally just, they were just so together in the moment and really feeding off each other. It was like a whole outer body kind of experience. So, and I've heard of people getting there. I'm sure some of you have felt that where I call it in the groove. I call it like I call it in the groove. Basically, when you're playing something and you're so locked into the music itself, like things are just happening, like, really, it's happening from the subconscious, and it's not easy to just tap into that. Kenny Werner's book, Effortless Mastery, taps into it. He also has a brand new book called, I think it's called, what is it called? The Musician, oh man, I'm gonna screw this up. It's called like Becoming the Instrument or something like that. I apologize if I got that name wrong, but Kenny Werner's book talks about that. He calls it the space, right? I kind of call it the groove, because I felt like I'm just in that. Like I feel like I'm just in it. I feel like in the moment everything is happening perfectly without me thinking. It's all just flowing out of me. Um, well, we're out of questions, and I've talked probably plenty. Um, and there's a couple people left here online. So if you have any questions, please feel free. If not, no worries. I'll be back next week, same time, same channel, same place. Um, and appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of you on YouTube, all of you on Instagram. I just appreciate you all of your support, and that you take the time to watch this and ask questions and be a part of this awesome community, that this whole positive community, not just my community, like everybody, just all of you people are amazing, and I do appreciate it all. Um, just remember, always positive, always progressing. Until next time, later.